podcast, Frank Greatness Wrestling Podcast, and welcome. When sorry for the delay, we had a busy schedule over the weekend, and we are here covering Friday night's WWE Smackdown. And first thing was on the list, there was a mysterious attacker in had attacked our unfortunate favorite Yeet superstar in Jay Uso. Unfortunately, Jay, who is initially within the Jay, who was initially in the uh, inside the WWE Elimination Chamber match this set on Saturday night. Unfortunately, he was ruled out due to injury, and now there will be a contender match in order to fill up his slot. Um, with Jacob Fatu and one Logan Paul from the Vision. They will go one on one tonight in order to determine who will qualify for the in order to determine who will qualify for the last slot in the elimination chamber to replace one Jey Uso. And with that going throughout the night, we also had a couple of series of matchups leading up and segments leading up towards Saturday night. I'm sorry, towards um, the Elimination Chamber going on in Chicago. There was also the women's tag team matchup with Rio defending against um oh man the annihilate the annihilators with Lash Legend and Nia Jax. So with that, getting to our first matchup of tonight, it was Uncle Howdy up against Solo Sokoa, which it was a pretty physical matchup indeed. And hello there. Make sure y'all, when you come in, loud like and subscribe for the Frank Greatness channel. But going on with things, and going on with everything else, um, Uncle Howdy had ended up picking up the 1, 2, 3 via with the sister Abigail, with Soul Sokoa trying to hit the running sit sit down on Uncle Howdy, which like I said, he Uncle Howdy ended up catching him with the sister Abigail for the 1, 2, 3, which then he ended up thinking that he was going to obtain back um his lantern that is symbolic to um his brother, um R.I.P. Bray Wyatt. The MFTs with Tamatonga, who ended up hitting him with a big boot, ended up retrieving back the ended up retrieving back the lantern. So more of that saga will go ahead and continue going on, unfortunately. So now it will still be the MFTs going on ahead and fighting off the Wyatt Six still going on rivalry, and that will still be looking forward to going on ahead. Hello there, make sure you hit the like and subscribe to the Frank Greatness Wrestling Podcast. And we are still going to go ahead and commence. And later on, we also had a United States Championship match with Carmelo Hayes still opening up the challenge to one returning superstar in Matt Cardona. And with that, Matt Cardona was almost close enough. Ended up hitting the Rough Rider in the middle of the matchup. Um, Carmelo Hayes, as Brazilian as he is, he ended up hitting the uh his finisher for not the 450, but the Melo hit net and ended up getting the 1-2-3 and ended up having a very successful United States title defense. We will be still featuring. No, most doubtedly, he will still be featuring the United States Open Challenge all throughout the week. So hopefully, we'll still get to see more of that later on. And then we also saw later on during the SmackDown segments of the night, it was one Jacob Fatu talking with one Sami Zayn. Sammy giving his reasoning saying that he then suspected Jacob of foul play on one Jay Uso, which then Jacob ended up saying he doesn't really trust Sammy ever since he got screwed over for the title matchup, for the chamber qualifying matchup because of Drew McIntyre and his interference, which gave Cody Rhodes the win, and then ended up Jacob wanting to have this second chance. So now, um, the way they're looking at Sammy is that if this can write it off, maybe he could be the one that attacked Jey Uso in a fit of rage. So many things can go ahead coming out of play with the storyline if done right from WWE. Who really knows? Still to go ahead and see. And also going throughout the night's matchup, there was also um, Lash Legend and Nia Jax, the Irresistible Forces, going up against Rio for the women's tag team title matchup, which Rio was close to retaining, but with Rhea Ripley being the legal competitor, Lash Legend had ended up hitting the last extension, giving her the 1-2-3, and giving also the Irresistible Forces the women's tag team championships. And again, congratulations to them. Hopefully more will be to come. Maybe we might end up seeing hopefully my prediction match, which would be the women's fatal four way. If prop two, hopefully we can. So next also that was on the on the last matchup of the card was Jacob Fatu versus Logan Paul for the last qualifying matchup. This was for the last spot that will take Jey Uso's. Unfortunately, Jacob Fatu with again another second week of interference from McIntyre. He suffered another loss from Logan Paul with a fall from Grace. And Logan Paul with the 1-2-3 ended up securing the spot. And now he is also secured inside the Elimination Chamber, which has somebody qualified and healthy within there, with also the appearance of the masked man, who was also had got revealed later on that night during the matchup. And so now we can probably expect, because it wasn't Seth, but going into this, we'll have another live segment going on talking about the Elimination Chamber match. Hopefully, if you join me then, and making sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe to the Frank Greatness Wrestling Podcast, and go on ahead and tune it and hit the notification button and tune in and follow me on all social media platforms. And we'll get back at you another time frame. And please make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll see you another time. Have a great day and evening, everybody.